Hi, lovely to have you here. Welcome to the Electro Revolution channel. My name is Michael and I'm a car and tech enthusiast. In this series of episodes, we're going through how to avoid voiding your battery warranty on manufacturers. We have finished episode 1 and episode 2. If you haven't watched those yet, I invite you to go watch those first because this episode is a continuation of those. In this episode, we're going to go through how not to use your mobile vehicle as a V2H vehicle to home power supply and the reasons why. And also we'll be going through not overloading your vehicle, and that includes in the towing, to avoid voiding your manufacturer's warranty. We'll also be covering not neglecting the maintenance of your vehicle and not neglecting the OTA firmware updates, and we'll provide a summary of the entire 3 series episodes in the end of this episode. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Now you may be surprised about this one, using the vehicle to power your home. Now there is a V2X technology that's coming in Australia and in other countries. Now that's a fantastic technology. It'll have the ability to use our vehicle batteries to power our homes, which is a fantastic thing because it lowers our electricity bills. However, believe it or not, this can void the warranty. Using your mobile car battery to power your home, specifically in a stationary sense, what that means is you're only buying the car to leave it in the garage and to power your home every single night, charge, discharge, charge, discharge. That is not actually covered under warranty. Even Tesla specifically deny it. So even though the feature is there and it's being standardized worldwide to assist us in grid capacity and overloading grids and all this sort of stuff, it's not actually covered under warranty. So you could use it in an emergency situation. For example, if you had a blackout and you needed to power your fridge and all that stuff until the power came back, but it will void your warranty. Continually do it. So this is what home battery systems are for, the ESS batteries and those types of things. They're specifically meant to power your home, maybe feed back into the grid with the V2G technology, things like that. But the mobile vehicles, they're not. And I know you'd be surprised about that because I was, but that will void your warranty. Another point here is exceeding towing and trailer limits as set by the manufacturer. Now, as you can imagine, if you're towing something heavier than what the vehicle is rated, it's going to use more energy in the vehicle. And same with an ICE car, it's going to use more petrol in an ICE car. Now, what that means is because you're using more of the electricity in the battery, you're actually degrading the battery based on things outside of the manufacturer's recommendations. And in that case, that's considered misuse. Misuse of the vehicle, which voids your warranty. You've got to be very careful of that. Always keep in the manufacturer limits when towing. Now I'm going to state the obvious with this one. Neglecting the maintenance of the vehicle and the firmware updates applied to the vehicle. Now, every single car manufacturer I know of requires you to send the vehicle in for service to maintain the warranty. The only manufacturer that doesn't require this is Tesla, which is one of the benefits of buying a Tesla. You never have to take it in for service and you retain the warranty on the vehicle. Now, every now and then, of course, you do need to change the filters of it, but that's the only thing really that the Tesla needs. And that's the only thing technically that EVs typically need. When you really come down to it with EVs, you don't need any maintenance on them. It's really just, I shouldn't say it, but it's really just a money grab. But unfortunately, with every single other car manufacturer, you do have to maintain your service schedule to retain the warranty on the vehicle. The other point is firmware updates. Now, when manufacturers release firmware updates, they actually require you to install them. You can't neglect to install them because a lot of these firmware updates not only introduce bug fixes, but introduce improvements in the vehicle's electronics. As an example, one of the things is better battery maintenance, better battery health software. Now these types of things, let's say overcharging your vehicle, it can slow the charge of the vehicle if you're gonna smash it with a 350 kilowatt charger, and it's going to damage the battery when you go over 70 or 80% at 150 kilowatts or a 200 kilowatt charge. The vehicle itself will purposely slow down the charge to retain the health of the battery so it doesn't actually get damaged. Now, if you don't have the OTA firmware updates added to the vehicle, then you can potentially cause damage to your battery. If you need to make a battery warranty claim and they find an OTA update that's dated, that's a year old, maybe more, multiple revisions behind, then your warranty claim could be voided because you haven't maintained your vehicle. Now let's summarize these episodes. Use of non-standard charging equipment. That's number one. That would void your warranty. Number two, opening the coolant or tampering with the battery pack. Of course, that would void your warranty. Number three, repairs or maintenance on the vehicle via unapproved service centers or non-certified technicians. That would void your warranty. Number four, deep discharge or fast charge abuse. We've spoken about that. That would void your warranty. Number five, use of your vehicle for V2H, vehicle to home. Also, towing without the recommended manufacturer's towing limits. That would also void your warranty. Number six, skipping the maintenance of the vehicle, again, for every manufacturer except for Tesla, and also for not applying OTA firmware updates. That could potentially void your warranty. That was the end of the episode and the end of the series. I hope it was informative. I hope these are things you can avoid doing. So if you were to ever make a warranty claim on your battery, then the warranty claim would be successful. If you did enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this content with someone who'd enjoy it, or just leave a comment. It really all helps. Until the next episode or until the next series, I hope to see you then. Bye for now.